I got this great view. Get this great view, just like this. And here's the third bridge, and I pop up.
Testing. 1, 2, 4, 37.
I think I'm on the verge of a breakthrough.
Today we're going to answer another question from one of you guys, and this question comes from Nick Thalhammer. He is the principal of Cincinnatus Insurance, and he said, I'm 95% personal lines, and the agency is made up of myself and one other producer. I'm trying to create an independent agency of the future. A big part of that strategy is digital, targeting millennials, younger generations, use of carrier service centers, and creating a fun working environment where everyone feels like they're part of the company. I'm planning on hiring another person, so any information that you could give me around hiring would be greatly appreciated. Nick, full disclaimer, I am in no way a hiring expert, but I have done a bit of hiring lately, so this is my best advice. I don't really have a strategy that I can share, like, if you do this, you will always hire the right person. I'd like to believe I've been incredibly lucky so far with who I hired. I mean, just the people are top notch. But as I stated, I don't hire for a position. I mean, obviously I have a position in mind when I choose somebody. The key for me is that it's the right person. Not that they have a resume that actually fits what I'm looking for, because you can train a person on how to do a job, but if they're not a good fit for you as a manager or as a leader, they're not good a fit for your team, then all the training in the world doesn't mean jack. One of the last few nice days that we're gonna get here in Albany. It's about 53 degrees, end of November, and I'm down here at the waterfront in Waterford, New York. Nice little place where a couple tributaries from the Mohawk, there's a couple locks right behind me, hit the Hudson River. This, my friends, is why you always keep an extra SD, micro SD. You may or may not be able to see that, but there is no memory card in there, which would have made flying today suck. But thankfully, I always keep a pocket full of extra cards. Now, Nick, one of the things that about hiring for me is I probably go off of intuition and instincts a lot more than most people when it comes to who I hire. And what I mean by that is I don't usually look at their resume. I don't ask for a resume, really. I think resumes are stupid, personally, today. Especially for what I do, and I think what you're trying to do. If you're a sales professional, and which really makes you a marketing professional as well, in 2017, gonna be 2018 pretty soon here, and you don't have a body of work, a portfolio of work online, either on LinkedIn or Facebook or, you know, wherever, if I can't find you online and see what you've done and get a feel for who you are, just as a starting point, then you're not even really a viable candidate today. Because that basically means you haven't put any work in, which I'm gonna tell you, man, unless you're going brand new hire, like right out of school, it's probably not worth your time. Like, if you gotta teach them about digital and how to sell, that's gonna be a lot of work on your part.
Hang on, you guys, I don't know if I can pull out of this. Giggity! Wow, from up here, everything looks so huge and coming faster.
I don't even know how to start this. I just learned a really difficult $1,500 lesson, which is if you're gonna fly your drone over water, there's a chance you're gonna lose it. Like, I don't even know how to feel about this right now. Like, I'm really depressed. Because I love that drone, and now it's gone, and it really makes me sad. That's a bummer. That's a big bummer.
This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you...
The reality of the fact that I just lost my Mavic Pro it's still sinking in. I mean, look. There's supposed to be a drone in there. Right there, right? See, that's the remote. That's where my Mavic Pro goes. It's gone. It's gone. And the worst part is, the footage I was getting was phenomenal. Phenomenal. I'm cruising down the Hudson and there's this place where there's these 3 little bridges. So I zip over the first bridge, zip over the second bridge, and I'm coming back down and I'm skimming. I mean, I can see the drone. I can see it. So it's probably 7 to 10 feet off the water, and I got this great view. Get this great view, just like this. And there's the 3rd bridge, and I pop up, and it's kind of got this little indent, and I go right over the indent, and I had scoped out all 3 bridges. All 3 bridges. And there's 1 wire, which I didn't see. Now think about the math here. The Mavic Pro is only 3 or 4 inches. 3 or 4 inches tall from top to bottom. And the wire can't be bigger than my finger. And I hit the wire, and I watched the thing tumble through the air, splash, gone. Now at the bottom of the Hudson River. So, I just got punched in my drone face today, and I'm very disappointed. I actually get to talk to Nick Ayers on the podcast. So, I'm gonna go do that. And then I'm gonna come back to you. I'll be in a better mood, I promise. I'm in a very foul mood right now. When I'm done talking to Nick on the podcast, I promise I'll be in a better mood. I've had an evening to dissect the loss of my drone. And to be honest with you, I woke up in a funk this morning and I just can't believe it's gone. It's amazing how fast it happened. And I know it's just a drone, and the truth is I already have another one in the mail on the way, but it's just amazing that it happened. Actually been hiring people for a little more than a year, but I have hired 4 people in that time and unfortunately had to let 2 go. In that time I also went from managing 6 people, the marketing team, to 15 people, which included all of sales, business development, and marketing together. So I would like to think just in my year and a half I have had a little bit experience, but the caveat is take it with a grain of salt. The first thing I'd say when hiring someone is hire the person, not the position. Always hire the person, not the position. And what I mean by that is do not try to fit a square peg into a round hole. Hire for the position, then you're ultimately not taking the best person for your company. You're taking the best person for that position, which that position may always not be the same. It may not always be as important as it is today in your company. Now, if you have the right person, the position doesn't matter. They'll be able to morph and adjust and adapt as your company grows and moves and transitions into whatever you need it to be in the future. And with that, I'll tell you, most of my hiring decisions are made more on instinct and intuition. You know, I go with my gut about the person versus looking at their resume and making sure that they check a certain number of boxes. Now, I am positive at some point that will get me into trouble. I know that, you know, from an analytical standpoint, there are probably much more scientific ways to go about hiring the right person for your company. But at the end of the day, I have to work with these people, and the people that are already on my team members, they have to work with this person. And I don't want it to be somebody that I don't like. I just firmly believe that you have to build a company that you actually want to work in, and the people are the biggest part of that. So go with your gut. If someone checks all the boxes but just doesn't feel right, they're probably not right for your company. Base your decision on the work they've actually done, not what they say they can do. What have they actually done? What does it look like? It doesn't always mean they've had success. I mean, if you were to take the position I'm in today and base it on my previous work experience, you would think Chip was bananas for putting me in this position. I mean, seriously, I cheated my way to a math major at a liberal arts college and did bullshit consulting work for a second-tier accounting firm for most of my career before I became an insurance agent, in which I was mostly a salesperson and never managed a team. Now I'm the CEO. Now I'm the CEO. Someday, Chip. Now I'm the CMO. Always introduce your new hires to the other people that already exist on your team. Always do that. And here's what I'm going to tell you as the leader, as the decision maker. Don't necessarily listen to what they say, you know, watch them interact. Really pay attention to their body language, to their posturing, to the tone of their voice. Because again, it's like a first date. Everyone's trying to put their best version of themselves out during an interview. But their posture, their tone, how they position themselves, how they move, when they're talking to your other team members, that's going to give away a lot about what type of person they are. Person, not position. Always trust your gut, base it on the work you've done, and watch how they interact with your other team members. And if you get a really solid feel for those four, man, you're gonna do pretty well hiring. The next are just a few kind of ideas to keep in the back of your mind. And you know, I wrote them down as notes, so I'm just gonna kind of rapid fire these to you. Always be recruiting, always. I have a Google Doc of names in our industry and outside our industry that I would love to work with, either as a collaboration, as a partner, as a consultant, or as actually someone that I bring on to our team. I constantly am building a list of people that I'm really impressed with and that I think will be good members. That way, when I have a position open or there is a need or someone becomes available, I'm always watching these people, and that allows me to build the company that I want to work for. Don't be scared to hire an alpha. So you're the leader and you want to be the alpha personality in the office. Don't be scared to hire another alpha. Your company needs alphas, but oftentimes people who have strong alpha type personalities resist hiring another alpha and bringing another dominant personality, type A personality, into their office. And I'm going to say that's a mistake if you do that. And you're going to butt heads with that person and you're going to have arguments. But if you do it in a respectful and constructive way, you're ultimately going to move your company forward faster. And actually, I got a really good article on this that I'll link up in the description. Check that article out. It's great. When you hire someone, assume they're going to leave you. So the people that I hire into Agency Nation and TrustedChoice.com, I want this company to be a breeding ground of great leaders and great thought initiators in our industry. I want people to come in and be pushed and motivated to do their absolute best work and build the absolute best version of themselves. And then I would love for them to stay with us and grow with us and become a bigger part of both our company and our future success. But I have to realize that there's a decent chance those people will want to, at some point, spread their wings and go do their own thing. And I'm not scared of that. And you can't be either, or you're never going to be willing to hire the best possible candidate because you're always going to be worried about them leaving. So what, someone comes in and learns from you from a year and then goes and starts their own thing? You can't control that one way or the other. But what you can do is teach them respect, teach them trust, teach them motivation, teach them the business. And you know what? Even if they do go and leave, they're always going to respect you. And in the long term, that abundance mentality, remember in episode 23, we talked about an abundance mentality. That's an abundance mentality. You become a mentor, help provide a platform for these people to be the best version of themselves. And some of them will leave, some of them will stay, but ultimately you'll be building a community of people that believe what you believe and trust you and respect your business. And together, even if they're not part of your company, you can do absolutely incredible things. So, Nick, these are my best. This is what I'm thinking about when I hire. This is what I think about as a leader of a company that's responsible for a team. I think about these things every day. I love being surrounded by people who are trying to do their best work every day. And these are my best tips, man. I hope it helps. I would love to know what you guys have. So if you've been involved with hiring people and running a team and building out an organization, I'd love to know your tips. Leave them in the comments below. Let's get a little conversation going around what great hiring looks like. How do you hire great people? How do you build a great team? Because like I said, I've only been at it for 18 months. This is the best I've got after 18 months. I know many of you have been doing it a lot longer, and I'd love to hear from you. All right, if you love this video, hit the like button. Otherwise, I'll catch you on the flip.